Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are continuing Intergalactic Tea, the Year of the Robit set. This is the 2023 Year of the Robit Sheng, Sheng Puer. So, alright, getting a dry smell on this. It smells quite herbal, but quite mellow. A little bit of a funk on it, almost like there's some wet age, but it's not that old, not that aged. It smells pretty decent though. I kind of like it. It's definitely a mellower smell, I think. All right, here is what I already weighed out. Definitely already has some darkness and some color to it. Let's see if we can get a little more under the light. My house is a little dark. It's also kind of early in the morning, so the sun's not quite out. But that is 7 grams. And we will go in, heat my water back up. We'll go in with a wash, I think probably right at boiling for the wash, and then wait a few seconds and go right under boiling, whatever it cools down to for that first steep. Here is that wash. This cake also seemed quite densely packed. That white cake yesterday was very densely packed, and it took quite a few steeps for it to ever really fully open. It was definitely kind of strange. I want to say it never really fully opened until like steep 5. But it basically, that white tea from Intergalactic Tea basically maintained the same flavor the whole time. Nothing changed too much on it. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't bad either. You could tell it at least wasn't like cut up leaves and like powder. It was at least whole leaves, so that's a plus. But here is what it looks like. Pretty light color currently from the wash. We'll pour that wash out onto the dog. And we will go straight in with that first steep. And we'll do, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds. I've never tried a Sheng pu'er from Intergalactic Tea. That white tea yesterday was my first tea from them, so we'll see how this goes. I've been real curious about this company, and to say the least, I at least really like their marketing, their labels, and their branding, so that's something. It at least got me in the door. All right, here is that first steep. And I'll do a wet smell. Looking at the color, it's a nice light golden color, very clear liquid. Not too many leaves made it through, a few did. No big deal. And wet leaf smell. Quite vegetal. A little bit of a, I don't know, kind of a seaweed note in there, maybe? A little bit of funk, a little bit of minerality. I think that's all I'm getting. All right, I'm going to try that first steep. 2023, a year of the Robit Sheng in Intergalactic Tea. Oh, wow. It is very mellow. I might need to, I will do a second steep, but hold on. Nice full body. Quite mellow. Very reasonable amount of sweetness. Absolutely no bitterness. Very, very slight astringency. It's almost not there. A bit of mouth drying. Pretty high in sweetness for a Sheng pu'er. Like quite sweet, like reminiscent of a white tea kind of sweet. Hold on, I'm gonna do a second steep. All right, here is my second steep. This has gone for, now that I'm talking, probably about 10 seconds, maybe a little longer. Still done, like slightly below boiling. maybe like 210 Fahrenheit. Pretty much the same as I do basically all my Sheng pu'ers. Definitely got quite a bit more color now. Beautiful color to it. Nice deep golden orange look to it for sure. Let me smell the leaves. They're a bit more open now. They're still a bit in the cake because they're pretty tightly compressed, but a bit more open. Just kind of a fresh vegetal scent, and maybe a bit of minerality, but not too much going on there. Very clear still as well. All right, I'm gonna try this second steep. Looking real nice. Yeah, this is a very mild Sheng pu'er. I'd say this would be fantastic for beginners. It's a little light for my taste, but it's definitely not bad at all. I would say it's a good intro tea for a Sheng pu'er because it very much lacks typical bitterness or astringency Sheng pu'er has a very high amount of sweetness for a Sheng, in my opinion, as well as it's very good on the minerality. So it's pretty balanced in that aspect. It has like the minerality, almost like having, you know, a wet rock, but then it has that sweetness backing it up. So it has some savory, some sweetness, and then it still has some vegetal plant notes to it, especially because it's a 2023. So a little aged, but not much. Yeah, just a little bit of that vegetal, kind of grassy hay notes in there. It's not strong at all. I'd say currently second steep, the predominant quality is the minerality. Yeah, but a very light one for sure. This wouldn't be my personal choice currently, but if I was just starting out or trying to get into a Sheng pu'er, and a lot of them I found, displeasing. I wasn't into the strong bitterness or the astringency or the super strong vegetal notes. This might be a good go-to, frankly. Yeah, this one's pretty solid. It's definitely not bad at all. Let me smell it. And there is quite a bit of sweetness on the smell, which is interesting. I'm wondering if I will get more sweetness in later steeps. But I think that's all I have currently. I'm going to try putting this on TDB as well and uploading that and seeing, as I go, I'll steep more and I'll see if, I'll just see if there's more flavors that come out and I'll put them on there. Or I'll put them in the description or pin a comment or something. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you.